Hello everyone, my name is Naveen Malik and welcome to my YouTube channel Data Architect Diaries. In today's video, we are going to explore an extremely important concept in Apache Spark called Spark partitioning strategy. Okay, so partitioning play critical role in how Spark process large data set efficiently across a distributed cluster. So when we work with big data system, performance is not just about writing correct code. It's about how data is distributed and processed across nodes. Okay. So in Spark, data is divided into multiple partitions and each partition is processed in parallel by different executor in the cluster. Okay. So the way these partitions are organized can dramatically impact performance, scalability and resource utilization. In this session, we will focus on two important strategies, that is the repartition and the coalesce. Okay. So we will understand why partitioning is important, when to use repartition, when to use coalesce, and the key difference between them and some best practice to optimize Spark performance. Okay, so by the end of this video, you will clearly understand how partitioning strategy affect Spark jobs and how to choose the right one in real world scenario. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, let's first understand why partitioning is so important in Apache Spark. Okay, so Spark is designed as a distributed computing framework, which means it processes large dataset across multiple machines in parallel. Okay, so instead of processing the entire dataset in a single machine, Spark splits the data into smaller chunks. That is the code partitioning. Okay. So each partition is the assigned to a different executor. Okay, and then Spark run task in parallel across the cluster. Okay. So this parallel processing is what makes Spark extremely powerful for big data workload. Okay. For an example, imagine a dataset containing billions of customer transactions from an e-commerce platform. So if this data set is stored as a single partition, only one executor will process it and then job will run very slowly. Okay. But if the data set is split into multiple partitioning, so Spark can distribute the workload across many executors. Okay. And process the data much faster. Okay. So however, partitioning is not just about parallelism, it also affects your resource utilization, shuffle operation, network overhead and job execution time. Okay. If poor partitioning can cause issue like data skew, where some executors receive too much data while others remain idle. So efficient partitioning ensure that data is distributed evenly across the cluster, allowing Spark to process workload efficiently. This is why understanding partitioning strategy is critical for optimizing Spark application. Okay, hope you have understood this scenario. Talk about the repartition strategy in Spark. Okay, so repartition is used when we want to redistribute data evenly across partitions. Okay, so when we apply repartition, Spark perform a full shuffle operation, meaning data is moved across the cluster so that partition become balanced. So although this shuffle operation is expensive, it helps solve several important problems. For an example, imagine you have a data set where most of the data is concreted in a few partitions. This situation is called data skew. In this case, some executor will process large amount of data while other remain idle, which leads to the poor performance. Okay, so using repartition, redistribute the data evenly across partition, ensuring that workload are balanced across executors. Okay, let's take a simple PySpark example. That is df and repartition is equal to df dot repartition in 10. Okay, so this command redistributed this data set into 10 partitions. Okay, so Spark will shuffle the data across the cluster so that each partition contains roughly equal amount of data. Okay, so repartition is commonly used in scenarios such as increasing the number of partitions, fixing skewed data distributions, preparing a data set for parallel processing. Okay, so however, since repartition trigger is shuffles, so we should use it carefully to avoid unnecessary performance overhead. Okay, hope you have understood this one strategy. So next, let's understand the Collis strategy. Okay, so unlike repartition, Collis is mainly used to reduce the number of partitions. Okay, the key advantage of Collis is that it avoid a full shuffle operation whenever possible. Okay, so instead of redistributing data across the entire cluster, Spark simply merge existing partitions together. Okay, so this make Collis much more efficient when we only need to reduce partitions. Okay, so for an example, imagine that after a large transformation, your dataset ends up with 200 partitions, but your output storage system only requires 10 files. Okay, so using Collis, we can reduce the number of partitions before writing the data. Okay, so here is a simple PySpark example. df underscore Collis is equal to df dot Collis and whatever you need to keep the reduced number of partitions. Okay. So this command reduce the number of partitions to 10 without triggering a full shuffle. Okay. So Collis is especially useful in scenarios such as reducing small amounts output files, preparing dataset before writing to storage, optimize resource usage. However, it is important to remember that Collis cannot increase the number of partitions. It is designed only for reducing partitions efficiently. Okay, hope you have understood this Collis strategy in PySpark. Okay, so both of these operations are used to control how data is distributed across partition, but they work differently. Okay, so repartition perform a full shuffle redistributed data every across the cluster. So this make it useful when we want to increase partitions or rebalance skewed data. So however the shuffle operation is more expensive. So and Collis on the other hand reduce partition without a full shuffle. Okay, so this make a much more efficient when we only need to reduce partition. So the general rule is use repartition when you want to increase partition or balance workload. Okay, or use Collis when you want to reduce partition efficiently without triggering unnecessary shuffle operation. So understanding this difference helps data engineering write much more efficient Spark pipeline. Okay. So hope you have understood about the repartition and Collis comparison. That means if you need to increase or balance the parts workload, that you can also use the repartition, and if you need to decrease the partition, that at that time you can also use the Collis. Okay. So now come into the next slide. Okay, that is the best practice. So for the best practice, like if I will let you know that if repartition is the ideal when we need to increase partition, rebalance data distribution, okay, or fix skew workload, okay, and on the other hand, Collis is the best use when we want to reduce partition efficiently and avoid unnecessary shuffle operation. Okay, so choosing the right partition strategy ensure that Spark job run faster, resources are utilized effectively, and distributed workload remain balanced. Okay, so understand these stages is an important skill for data engineering and data architect working with large scale data pipeline. Okay. So thank you for watching this video and joining me in this deep dive into Spark partitioning strategies. Okay, so efficient partitioning is one of the key techniques for optimized Spark performance. Be properly distributing data across partition, we can significantly reduce shuffle overhead, improve parallel processing, and ensure that cluster resources are used effectively. Okay, I hope this video help you understand when to use repartition and Collis in real world Spark workload. Okay, so if you found this video helpful, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with others who are learning Apache Spark and deep engineering, data engineering. Okay, so and don't forget to check out other videos on the channel where we explore Spark internals, data engineering architecture, and real world big data solution. Okay, so thank you again for watching Data Architect Diaries. See you in the next video. Thank you.